share you guys our wedding venue. We went to see tons of wedding venues. I think we saw 5 different ones. I don't know if we saw 5, but we're gonna count down from the worst to the best, and we're gonna rate them and tell you guys what we think, why we didn't choose it, and then why we ended up choosing the one we chose. So the first one we're gonna talk about is this one. Okay, so we did not like this one. We knew we didn't like it the second we walked into it. I didn't like it just because it just felt like overpriced for like nothing really. Like,
if it's like a studio apartment and then like a small little courtyard.
Yeah.
It was
just, there was nothing special. I felt like there was no room for people, and I don't know, like, I don't want to say bad things about the venues because someone probably chose it, but like, it was just not worth the money. My backyard is like huge, and so I'm like, I would have way more space in my backyard, and there wasn't even like a lot of parking lot space, so I really don't know like what the plan was with that. But did you like anything about it? Really?
Maybe like I did like the way that the place we would have actually got married at, like in the back, in the yard, how like that was like a big,
the gazebo.
Yeah, how it was like had a big gazebo, and then it had plenty of space for chairs.
Yeah,
and
that
was
pretty.
And all that. That would have been.
And there was an orchard behind it, so it was like, it would have been a decent view. It just was like, this was also like one of the last places we looked at, and so I think like we were just exposed to so many good places that like this also looked that much worse. And also like I was comparing my backyard to everything because we have like a really big backyard. How many acres is my yard? 2?
It's not even 1.
Oh, it's 1 acre.
No.
It's not an acre?
It's probably not. It's probably like 3/4 of an acre.
It's almost, my backyard's almost an acre. So we have a lot of land.
But there's only grass on like barely any of it.
So my backyard is like pretty big, and it's something I've kind of always had in my mind that I might do my wedding there. But so I was kind of comparing everything to my yard and saying, okay, well, is this worth the money? Because like my yard's really cool, and I kind of like starting from scratch so I can like really decorate. So it just was not making the cut for us. But yeah, that was our least favorite. Well, the next one, okay, so we're going backwards. So the next one, this was the second worst one, which this was actually really pretty. So it's like saying it's the second worst is not really saying it's bad at all. It was really cute. Okay, so basically it was at a winery, and we don't drink, and so for us, like, we didn't really ever consider wineries because usually it's more expensive, and also like we're not gonna have alcohol at our wedding, so we're kind of like, why would we really want to do a winery? But this place, it looked like cute from the pictures, and so I was like, I'm just gonna see what it looks like. So we went there, and he used to be, what were you considered?
For like,
he worked for a DJ
like 2 months.
For like 2 months.
Yeah, I just set up his stuff before he got there. Like set up his speakers, ran his wire, did all that stuff. And so I set up a wedding there for him for like all his DJ equipment and stuff.
So you've seen it like in action.
Yeah, I saw it in action. It was really nice. I mean, it looks good.
It was really pretty.
It's just,
I honestly feel like someone that likes rustic and like winery, like they would love that place. It was so pretty. Like,
I could totally see that as an actual wedding venue that a wedding would go really well at. The only one that I thought was actually lackluster on our list was the one that we already talked about. Yeah, that was the only one that wasn't. That was one. It was way behind, and then the other 4 are all really good.
They're all pretty good. They get really good from here on out. But it just, okay, so it was really pretty. Like, the outside was super well taken care of. It had like lots of options, and you could have a ton of people there. And the inside of the barn was just like, whoa, it was so pretty, like all wood, and it had like so much space, and it was kind of a blank canvas, so you could kind of like decorate however you'd want. So I definitely thought it was pretty, but I just didn't feel like it was right when we went there. And Brandon didn't really feel like it was right either. So we didn't love it, but we definitely could see why someone would love it.
Yeah, see, we appreciated it, it just wasn't for us.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it came down to, was like whichever one was more for us.
Yeah.
From here. And I would say almost like a tie with this one was the next one we're gonna say. It was like they're super neck and neck because both of them kind of have a little bit of pros and cons. And then this one that we're naming, when we went there, it was not prepared for a wedding at all yet because she hadn't done any of the yard work or any of the other stuff. So it was like harder for me to kind of visualize it. But I'm sure if she did the yard work and cleaned up some of the weeds and like some of the other things, like she said she normally does whenever there's a wedding there,
and the flowers,
it would look really nice. Yeah, and the flowers are taken care of and all that. Because when we went, it wasn't any of that. So she was like trying to tell us to visualize it, and I'm like, I'm more of like a person where I have to see it. Like
I can visualize, and like this one that we were talking about, this is owned by the same person that owned the first one, and so this is at her house. So with this one, it was, the barn was like beautiful. It was really pretty. Like I almost was like considering it just because it had like a lot of wiggle room and it was like really pretty, but I'm not like a rustic barn type person, and so for me, I wanted more of a princessy look, so it just didn't feel like I could get that with it. But I mean, it was really cute. It had lots of good stuff. Like when she takes care of it, it looks amazing because I've seen pictures, but like at that point it was kind of like there was no weddings happening. Like the whole summer, like COVID happened, so no weddings were happening, so nothing was really taken care of. But she did decorate the barn, which was really cute, so that was kind of decent to picture. So yeah, I really like this one.
The problem with it was the price. Honestly, that's what made me say no.
The price was high.
It was the most expensive wedding venue we looked at.
Yeah, it was the most expensive.
Which, if it was the cheapest one we looked at, that would have made me actually consider it.
Yeah, same.
Because it was really good, but not for its price.
Yeah.
Because the one we're going to talk about next was way better than this one.
Way better.
And it was cheaper, so that doesn't, like, she just needs to see her competition and then adjust her prices accordingly.
Because it was great, it just was not as amazing as the next one we're going to talk about, and it was more expensive, so we were just kind of like, well, we can't consider it because there's a better one. And she was also not very flexible with COVID, which none of them were, because like there's laws, so like they can't really do much, but she was like the most strict one with it, and so we kind of were like wondering, like, because we have to consider what if this happens on our wedding date, which is May 15th. So that was in the back of our mind with everything. We were asking questions about COVID, and this was probably the most strict one that we saw. So there was just nothing that sold us on it, but everything was really pretty. But yeah, everything was good. And then this is the other one. You loved this one more than I loved this one, which is weird because when I was like 16, I wanted to get married here. Like I actually wanted to get married here, but like my styles changed a little bit to where I just didn't really feel it, but he was in love with it. So this is Bella Fiora Gardens, I think is what it's called, and it's super pretty. Like the woman that runs this knows what she's doing. Like, oh yeah, she has so much taken care of. Like she's on top of everything. She's definitely like incredibly organized. Like I can't say anything really bad about. Yeah, I can't say anything bad about her or her venue. Like honestly, she's like amazing.
I wanted to pick this place.
Yeah, she just does everything for you. She makes it easy. Like the place was gorgeous. It was really, really pretty. For me, the only thing that I didn't like is I really was excited to like decorate and make something my own and have it be like not so like flashy. I want it to be more about like God and like the reason we're here, which is like to celebrate our relationship with God. And so for me, I just didn't feel it, which is weird because I went in thinking I would be obsessed with it, because I always have been, but like for some reason, like I just had this feeling that like I couldn't get connected to it. And he loved it because everything was done. She had it beautiful, so you could picture it, how it would work, and yeah, she did a really good job selling it.
I think Kenzie's problem is she likes to get creative, and this place was. Yeah,
I couldn't be creative.
She had everything done for you, and that's what I like. That's
and I don't. I want to do everything, which is weird. People usually don't like to do everything.
Yeah. So I mean, for me, I was like, shoot, you can just put the wedding in her hands, and it's basically out of ours. Yeah. And so you had almost a wedding planner and a venue for the price of one, and she's legit. I mean, talking to her,
her pricing was really good, and
it was
what you
really
get.
Reasonable.
Yeah,
so really reasonable.
She took care of a lot of stuff. Like oh my gosh, she took care of so much. They
and she had
included
parking.
Yeah, she had amazing parking. She had people that would show you where to park. She had like a staff. She had tables, chairs, so much, and also like she was just super organized, so it just made you feel calm, and everything was so pretty you didn't have to decorate. So honestly, like, that is a really good place to get married. I would definitely suggest that. The
altar was in a perfect spot, surrounded by arborvitae, which blocked out the wind, because the wind is a problem in Tri-Cities.
There's no wind in that when you go there, which our town is like so annoying with wind, especially like in like the fall or like September time, or like honestly like every time is when there's wind here. But yeah, it was just really perfect, to be honest. And like there was fountains and everything, so you literally felt like you were in a palace when you walked down, which was weird because I should like this, but I just didn't feel it.
There was like 500 roses or something.
Yeah, there's so many flowers. It was honestly perfect. But yeah, we didn't choose that one. And I felt bad for her. She was really stressed out because of like the whole COVID thing, and she just, I don't know, I wanted to give her our business. I just did not feel it, but it was perfect, to be honest. So that was our second favorite, and I can't say anything. I honestly would give it 10 stars if I had to rate it by stars, because like there was nothing wrong with this place. It had everything. And so the place that we ended up picking, Brandon's never been there. This is the only place he didn't go to. He recorded all the other footage and everything, and I took care of this last one because he was, I think, working when I looked at it. So he's seen the footage, but he hasn't seen it in person yet, which we're gonna have to like actually take you down there at some point. But so this place I looked at online like right after he proposed, and I fell in love with it. But then I got overwhelmed, and I just like stopped looking at places because I just didn't even know what to do. Like there's so much flying at me at the same time. So I kind of forgot about it. But then at the end of looking at all these places I didn't find one I was in love with, I decided to just go and look at it, and it was like perfect, like absolutely perfect, because it lets you like kind of make it what you want it to be, and it's super like outdoorsy, and there's like a cross that you can get married at, and I just really felt like this was like the place. And so yeah, but the only thing here is like you have to provide a lot of your own things, like our own decorations you have to provide. You have to provide your own tables and chairs. So it did get kind of more like, I guess there's more like stress about like making sure you have everything, but I mean, I'm used to that type of stuff. So to me, that doesn't bother me, because I'm used to doing all that type of stuff, and that's what I kind of wanted to do, is like find my own stuff. So I like it a lot. They have like a really cute area where you can go take like boat pictures and all that stuff. It was super cute. What's your favorite part about it that you've seen through the videos?
I think what I mostly like about it is just that I get to just kind of see you put it together creatively. I would just say that I'm kind of like, I just kind of step back and was like, okay, Kenzie, go. And because we could have put it in that girl's hands, and that's what I was comfortable with.
Yeah.
And you said, no, I've got this. Like, I'm letting me be creative. And I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And so then I just kind of go, like, you know, I'm just going to watch you.
So I think you're just excited to see what I do with everything.
Yeah, I'm excited to see it all put together, because I'm not a visual I can't visualize it. Like, you keep showing me individual things that we're doing, and I'm like, I can't picture it all together, so I just have to wait till it is.
So he can't visualize anything. I'm like really good at that. Like I already have like so many images. I have a mood board and everything. It's gonna be super cool. I'm really excited for you guys to see it all, but I don't know, I love it. It's super, super awesome, and it's gonna be super elegant and princessy with everything. And I know it might be hard to picture with the footage that we have, because it's like a very blank canvas, but that's what I wanted, because I want to make it like our own thing and very unique. So that's our venue, and I don't know, yeah, it was awesome.
And our backup venue is your backyard.
Yeah, so being engaged during this whole weird thing that's going on right now with the world, we have like a backup plan. So this is where we want to get married, And if for some reason we can't get married there, everything falls apart, then my backyard is just going to be the backup plan. And I mean, we'll see what ends up happening. I'm really not worried about it because, like, wherever it's supposed to happen is where it's supposed to happen. But we're just going to plan like it's that venue, and if something happens, then we'll just change it on. Which is also the cool thing about having it be a blank canvas and, like, having to already, like, provide our own things is, like, it's super easy fix to where, for some reason, if we can't go there, we just take all our stuff and just plop it in my yard because my yard's really pretty. So, yeah, I don't know. I think this was just the best option for us, especially with what's going on. And I think it's going to be super cute.
I'm excited.
Yeah. So, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Bye!